So good news, bank switchers. TSB is launching a brand new £200 bank switching offer on the 1st of February 2023. That initial switching deal is split into two parts, £125 for the first instance, another 75 quid if you stick around. There's also the opportunity to get up to £74 on top of that for a few other little hacks, and I'll share those with you as well. But so there are potentially 4 different parts here, so a little bit more detail on this than we normally would go into on a switching video. What I want to quickly tell you about it, obviously, if you are new to switching, do check out this video here, which takes you through how it works and the basics. But fundamentally, you need to switch from a different bank into a new TSB account. So the old account you have will be closed down. If you don't want a part of your account, you probably haven't got time in this particular offer to open up a dummy account, because this offer will end on the 3rd of March 2023. So you might be able to sneak it in, get another account open, and then switch with it, but it might be a bit tight. So you open up a new account, and this applies to both new and existing TSB customers. You're not ruled out if you already have a TSB account. You literally just open up an additional one, but it has to be one of 2 different accounts, either the Spend and Save account or the Spend and Save Plus account. Now, which one you go for will have an impact on the extra cash that I mentioned beyond that £200 switching bonus. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. In fact, the only people who really can't get this account are people who have already had switching cash from TSB in the last 4 months or so, 5 months, since October of 2022. So if you did take advantage of those offers that ran towards the end of last year, sadly, you can't do it this time round. So let's get into it. Just look at the different parts of this offer. I'm going to go over to my blog, becleveryourcash.com, where I've got a whole article taking you through this. If you want to read up on it after I've spoken about it, that is the place to go. Right, that first chunk, the most important chunk, the easiest chunk to get in many ways, that £125 switching bonus. Now this is where, again, you open up and start the switch by the 3rd of March 2023 to trigger this. But you also have to, as part of that switch, include 2 direct debits. Now, I've got a video looking at setting up new direct debits fast and for ones that won't cost you much money on your old account. So have a look at that. You've got time to do that. Set those up on the old account and then have them pay out of the account before that switch takes place. You have to do all of this. The switch has to complete by the 24th of March. So open the account, start the switch, and then complete the switch by the 24th of March. You also, as well as having had those 2 direct debits come out, you need to have used the debit card at least once, and you need to have logged into the online or app banking at least once. So pretty easy to do that. Okay, you're effectively setting up the account, registering the account. If you do this, you will get that money within a few months. I'll give you the exact date in a minute. We'll come through to all those different dates in a moment. The next part is an additional £75 extra cashback. This requires you to stick with this account, keep this account until October of this year. So between the 1st of April and the 30th of September, a total of 6 months, you need to use your debit card at least 5 times every single month. Doesn't have to be a massive purchase. If you really wanted to sort of hack this slightly, you could add £1 to Amazon every single time, 5 times over those 6 months, or top up a savings account, NNSI or chip that allow this if you don't want to actually replace spending on a cashback card or a snoozing card with this. So 5 debit card transactions every single month for 6 months starting the 1st of April. Note that isn't when you open the account. So let's say you open it at the beginning of February. This bit doesn't start, let's say, until 1st of April. You also, in that same period, April to the end of September, that 6-month period, need to pay in £500 every single month. And those direct debits you set up as part of the switch, they need to stay there as well. So again, they're quite involved to get this extra 75 quid. But the direct debits, the money coming in, you could automate that. That shouldn't be too much of an issue for you. And you just need to remember to make those purchases. And you can do it probably in 5 minutes if you really wanted to, once every single month. So again, not too bad to do that in order to get this extra 75 quid. Now that is the switching bonus itself. These extra bits are slightly different because they are not part of the switch, but you can get them when you apply for the account and then when you have the account. But they are a bit more involved. So it's whether you want to do this or not is up to you. Now, you can get up to 50 quid when you first apply for the current account. So before you do any of the switching stuff, when you first apply for the account, rather than going straight to TSB, if you go via a cashback site, Quidco or Top Cashback, they will offer you rates between 20 quid and 40 quid as a bonus for opening the account and meeting some criteria, which I'll talk about in a minute. Generally, it's 20 or 30 quid for the spend and save account, or it is 40 quid for the spend and save plus account. So you'll get more from the spend and save plus account, although I will come back to that in a second. Now, if you are brand new to Top Cashback, I've got a link over on becleveryourcash.com, and I will link to it in the article here, which will get you a £10 welcome bonus when you then also successfully open up the TSB account and meet the criteria that's here. Normally, a welcome offer from a cashback site, you've got to spend 10 quid or something. Obviously, you're not spending money directly with this account. You're opening an account. So you have to go via this specific welcome offer to get it, to tie it in with this welcome deal. Obviously, that means you could get up to 50 quid from this method on top of that 200 quid from the switch itself. But I said there are some terms you have to follow to trigger that cashback. So you need to deposit £500 a month. Now, hopefully you're already doing that to get the extra 75 quid. You think, great, I'm already doing it. However, this one starts when you open the account. So you open it in February. You've got to do it in 3 of the first 4 months. So February, March, maybe miss April, and then do May. The other part doesn't start till April. So you're not necessarily going to tie them in. So again, make sure you are doing this from when you open the account. £500 goes in there. Again, doesn't need to stay there. It can come straight back out if you want to. You also need to make 2 debit transactions. Now, that can be with your debit card. And again, if you're doing the other offer, that's going to cross over for a couple of months potentially, but not for the first 1 or 2. That doesn't have to be just a debit card transaction. It can be a standing order or a direct debit. They're relatively easy to set up if you wish to. Standing order is just transferring money from this TSB account into a different account. So again, relatively easy to do that. You also need to register for internet banking and paperless statements and paperless correspondence in the first 90 days. After you've had the account for 120 days, they'll check you've met the criteria and they'll authorize the payment, but it might take a while for that money to come through to you. Now, the final amount of money is most likely going to be £30 cash back. It could be £24. And which one you go for, basically, this depends on the account that you open as well. So if you open up the spend and save account, for the first 6 months, you can earn £5 cash back every single month, as long as you make 20 debit card transactions a month for those 6 months. To me, that's quite a lot. They've actually just reduced it with this new offer. It was 30 transactions, now it's 20. So it's a little bit easier. But obviously, I understand why they're doing it. They're trying to make sure you use this account as your main account. You use it for your spending rather than just one for switching. Personally, I think this might be a step too far, but you might want to do it. You might be a completist. You might want to do it. So obviously 30 quid from this. As I said, the welcome offer, that one is slightly less than the others, 20 or 30 quid. So you might be looking there. Welcome bonus on top. Maybe if you do all of them, that's 270 quid. You potentially can get a little bit more because of that increased Quidco and Top Cashback rate for the Spend and Save Plus. Remember, that's 40 quid you'll get for that. If you go for that account instead, that £5 cashback continues every single month. It doesn't stop after 6 months, but you pay a £3 fee. So you'd actually need to be doing it for 14 months to get the same as you would in 6 months from the free account. Obviously, after month 14, if you kept doing this, you kept making those 20 transactions on your debit card every single month, you'll start making a profit. Personally, I don't think it's worth it, but you might decide to go for that option. So let's say in the first year, you're making 24 quid from that account after the fee, and you've got the increased £40 cashback from the cashback sites and the £10 bonus on top of that. That could give you an overall total, all those different 4 parts, of up to 274 quid. As I said, I think for most of you, the best thing to do is open up the spend and save account via the cashback site. So for 20 or 30 quid welcome offer, then do the 2 switching parts, the 125 quid and the 75 quid. So I think realistically, most of you are going to be looking at 220 quid to maybe 230, 240, depends if you're new to the cashback sites or not. So when do you get the money? clear this up. That first 125 quid, as long as you've met the criteria, that will come into your TSB account on the 21st of April, or by the 21st of April. So you're looking at, what, 3 months just to get your money? Could be faster, obviously. The second £75 payment, obviously you've got to do those things for 6 months from April, which basically means you're not going to get that money until the end of October of this year. So 9 months time to get that extra 75 quid. But all in, I think this is a great offer to take advantage of. Obviously, it's not the only deal going on right now. I've got videos about the current Santander and Lloyds offers, and I wouldn't be surprised as the next few weeks we see other deals come from other banks as well. So if you haven't already, make sure you do hit subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. And do also head over to becleverwithyourcash.com/banks. That is where I list all the different deals and reward offers, everything you can from the bank accounts. I update them whenever these change. So that's where you're going to see things first of all. I'll give you more details over on the channel. My name is Andy Webb. Thank you so much for watching this. Check out this video right here for more bank switching bonus deals.